So I'm going to introduce our speaker today, Chrissie, and she's not only a counsellor, but she's also an author. Chrissie's written a book, and at the beginning, she decided to write the book after moving areas and looking for a different way to reach out and establish her therapy business. She wanted a way to reach people and offer online therapy because she could only see so many people in a week on a face-to-face basis. She decided to put her answers to the questions that she was regularly asked and added some of the clients' experiences in her own book, and some pause for thoughts within the pages to give the reader a fuller picture of both herself and the work that she does. It is with great pleasure to invite Chrissie to Midweek Matters on as our last speaker in our self-love month this month. Welcome, Chrissie.
Hi, thank you for having me. And I'm really, really happy that I get to come and talk to you about self-love because obviously as a therapist it is something that's really important for me. Not only to practice it myself, but it's something that I encourage and empower other people to do as well.
Brilliant.
I've also got with me tonight, just so everyone knows, I brought along Jade, who is my PA. She's just waving in the background, and she's possibly going to help out on the presentation as well, just to give me those little bits of gaps because my speaking, so I can just take a breath and swallow. There'll be two of us talking within the presentation.
Lovely. Do you would like me to share the screen now, Chrissie?
Yes, please.
Is that okay?
I can see that. Can everyone else see that? Okay.
Let me just make it into a slideshow.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Chrissie?
Yes, and we'll just get started to self-love and why it matters. So obviously, as a therapist, I hear a lot about when people are giving to everyone else, and we all know it when we get to that point where we're just giving and giving and giving, and then all of a sudden we find out we're burned out, we've got mental health issues, we're just not enjoying life. And at that point, we stop and go, what's going on for me? Where am I in all of this? So sometimes I just think it's important to remember that in self-love for you as well as everyone else. If you're the best version of you can be, you can give more to yourself and to everybody else. If you want to move on to the next slide. So what is self-love? The way I've done it, I'm going to split it down into like the practical side, physical side, and then at the end I'll go into more of like the mental health way that I look at it and give you some of the hints and tips that I will share with my clients to help them look after themselves. Next.
Oh, technical hitch, sorry.
So this one is your physical self-love. So start off by putting the right food for you. And the reason why I added in the word for you, I'm not here to tell you to eat your fried fruit and vegetables. I don't do that. So I'm not going to tell anybody else to do that. The reason why I put in there for you is obviously nearly everyone in the group today has cerebral palsy, and I know certainly with my CP, I have to be really conscious of the kind of textures that I eat. So there's certain textures that will make me gag. So eating the right food for you, and also eating like throughout the day, because you permanently then giving your body the energy you need. And as well, the good thing for us with CP as well, that's what I've been told, so I'm allowed to do it, because our walking takes a lot more energy. We're allowed to eat a bit more as well, but I always say that when I'm eating my fish and chocolate, that I need that for my energy levels as well. The next thing that is really important is to making sure you get enough sleep. And I know, again, with CP, that can be difficult because bedtime can be the time when the pain kicks in or you're not comfortable laying in one position. So, again, it's about getting that bedtime routine that works for you. Some people need to turn everything up and chill out before they get into bed. Other people need to get in bed and just let the bodies relax, get rid of all the muscle spasms from the day, either by listening to podcasts or music or even watching the TV. But again, it is really important to understand that your sleep not only helps you physically, it also helps you mentally repair. Again, if you have got worries and stresses, sleep is time when we can forget what's going on in our brains. So it's really important we get enough sleep as well. And then the third one we get exercises, which obviously most of us don't hear about. I know Miriam is a physio, and I always say that I try to avoid these people as much as I can. They always make me do more work than I want to, but obviously, again, exercising, knowing, knowing that we need to do it, but finding what our limits pushing yourself, and equally finding something you enjoy. Because if you enjoy it, you're gonna want to do it even more.
Yeah, I think obviously, like you said, doing it within your ability and making sure that you're still comfortable while still exercising, and yeah, I guess doing all these things for your mental health as well as your physical health.
So, me, next, please. So, physical self love. So, feeling good in how you look. And that's going to mean different for all of us. Again, I personally know that I get a bit self conscious because my physical restrictions don't allow me to, like, for example, it doesn't allow me to wear high heel shoes, and I have to have clothes that are easy for me to get on and off. So sometimes when you look at people, you feel like, why can't I wear that? But it's about finding things that make you feel good. What's your favorite color? What's your what's your most comfortable outfit? Again, looking after yourself in terms of your appearance as well. Because when we take time to have a shower and bath or wash your hair, do your makeup, whatever you prefer, that can make you feel good. And if you're feeling good and you think, oh, I look good today, that all helps you improve your mental health as well. So keeping up with that, your favourite clothes, your hair, makeup, and teeth. It all adds to the feeling of, yes, I feel good today because I look good today.
Yeah, and that can help to build up your self confidence as well, can't it? Which is also gonna, strengthen your self esteem and help you mentally as well as physically looking good. You're gonna feel good within yourself.
And obviously, then your self confidence leads to the higher self esteem, which is when your confidence and self esteem are both high, that's when you get like the courage to go out there and put yourself out there a bit more on these kind of podcasts and meetings and things like that. Next slide, please. So, what makes you happy? So, what's your way of socialising? What are your favourite hobbies? When's the last time you had a break or planned or took a holiday? Do you enjoy spending time with your pets? Me personally, the last one's the important one because I've got Fizzy, not only works as a therapy dog, but he's probably my best friend as well. So my socialising hobbies, break all of them, involve being with Fizz and getting out and about with him.
Yeah, like you say, pets are a big one. But if you haven't got pets, I guess building a strong social group where people empower you to yeah, like you said, put yourself out there, build your confidence up and make you feel good.
Next slide, please. So we're now going to move on to how to maintain that self-love. So that when we sit and talk about it, we all have that, yeah, I can do that. But it slowly can go down and down till you realise you're not doing it anymore. So if we can go to the next slide, we can look at how we can maintain these. So, we're going to start off with relationship with others. So, having positive people around you, for me, is probably the most important thing you can have because even when you're having your down days, you're having your days where things are physically harder than normal. It's nice to have people not only to rely on, but the ones that are going to help you bring you back comfort, help you feel good, or just go out and about with you and do different things to help you feel better.
Yeah, as well, setting boundaries, so not letting people, I'm going to say force you to do things that you're not comfortable with or things that you physically can't do, and setting those boundaries, what you're prepared to accept from other people, so that you can still feel good about yourself.
And probably one of the hardest things about setting a boundary is knowing that it is okay to say no to people. Because a lot of the time, particularly if you do need help from other people, it's very easy to fall into that trap where you think, well, they're helping me, so I can't now say no to them. And that can make you feel a bit like pressured when you want time away for yourself, that you need to fulfill what they want and need just for them days when you need them. Next slide, please. So, healthy relationship with yourself. The first one I put down there is learning to like yourself. So, you have to go really deep with this one to really answer it. When you look in the mirror in the morning, do you like what you see? Do you like the person that you are? Do you like the person that everyone else sees? Do you like what people think about you? And it's important, if you don't feel that way, to ask yourself why. Is this about you? Is this about the way other people make you think? And then possibly, if it is deep enough that it's affecting your confidence and self-esteem, what do you want to do about that? Do you want to try and get help to move forward with that, to learn to like yourself? I think the biggest thing that I deal with when I'm working with clients that have got disabilities, a lot of it is about accepting what we can and can't change. So we've got cerebral palsy, it's not going to go away. So what can't we change about that situation? Which bit of it do we have to learn to accept?
Frustration, isn't it?
And then,
yeah, another way to sort of reflect on how you can have a healthy relationship with yourself is by practicing gratitude. So gratitude is basically what you're thankful for, what you're grateful for. You can do this just by thinking it in your head. You could maybe write it down. I'm grateful that today I managed to go and spend time with my friend, and I'm grateful that I got to spend time in the sun, for example. Things like that. It can just make you see the positives in things, even if you're not necessarily having an overall positive day.
and also be mindful of how you're thinking as well, because if you can try and think positively, and nobody can do this 24/7. No, nobody can do any of this 24/7. These are just the things to go back and think about when you are thinking, why are things feeling a little bit bad right now? What can I do to make things feel a little better? So positive thinking. What is good in your life? What do you like? What are your plans for the future? What are your goals? How are you going to get there? Another thing to do as well is knowing your own wants and needs. Because when you are, or if you are reliant on people that, such as your support workers and your carers or family and friends to help you a lot, it's really easy to slip into just doing what they think, what they want. And everyone's important, so it's important to know, what do I like, what do I want, what's going to make me happy. And it's equally really important to be able to verbalise that to the people around you as well.
Also valuing yourself. So similar to what you've just said, knowing what makes you happy and what you want to do, and like valuing that, your needs are important, what you want is important, and you're just as important as anyone else. So it's about practicing those boundaries and I guess taking control of your own life in the way that you get to decide what you accept from other people.
And by practicing all the skills listed, what that leads to, it leads to like a sense of empowerment. Because if you know what you want, you like yourself, and you got the confidence and self-esteem to go out and do it, you're just gonna like hit the ceiling. You're gonna be flying high with all the positivity and the feel good factor you get from doing not only planning things, but when you've done it and you can look back and go, well, I did that. I really enjoyed like taking time out just to sit back and reflect on what I've achieved in the last week or month or even year. And sometimes you forget because you're on autopilot. You're just carrying on and carrying on. And you forget to look back and go, wow, look what I've achieved this year. Next slide, please. So again, another one that I thought would be important to bring up for our group of people as well is on medications and appointments. So keeping your appointments with the healthcare specialist, because it is easy to slip by and forget the other one, or just think I can skip this one this time. But I think even more so with the issues in the NHS at the minute, you don't want to be like knocked out the system, because it's probably going to be months or even years before you get back into it. Also, as well, for me, this is quite a big one as well, is you're taking the right and the correct medication. Because it's quite easy to be put on medications and then just take them. And then every now and then have a review with your GP or whoever it is that is like your primary caregiver, and just make sure that everything you're taking is still necessary and still working for you. I'm a firm believer, and I believe me and Emma spoke about this a little bit as well. That we know our body's better than anyone else, so it's up to us to say like what we want our care to look like, not just be fobbed off or whatever. It's almost like I feel like it's partly my responsibility to educate the people that are caring for me about the difference between an adult with and without cerebral palsy, because I don't always realise it just makes a difference in the care that you need. It just, particularly with me, I just like when I walk in, I just wobble a little bit and talk a little bit differently. So it's quite easy just to underestimate what else is going on internally as well. So having that courage, or if you can't do it for yourself, find someone that's gonna walk up and speak up for you to say this is what you want. And I also find as well that having alternative therapists for self-care is also good for your mental health. So I'm not saying everyone needs to go out and find a therapist, but it's also that like having Reiki, having massages, or just chill out spa days, anything like that, which is just time for you just to switch off and just relax and have a bit of self-care and a bit of fun as well if you can. Next slide, please. So I'm going to move on now to give you a couple of tips of how to like look out for what's going on with your mental health. Hopefully you might want to use these going forward. Next slide, please. So one thing I always describe to my clients is that life is a bit like a roller coaster. It's never going to be flat. It's always going to go up and down. And the way I describe it is, if we can recognise the triggers on the way down, we can make it a little journey down rather than a big slump where we get down the bottom and think, how did it get here and how did it get back? So when you're going through anything that is like troubling you with your mental health, obviously to try and tackle it while you're going through it may be a little bit hard and a little bit unrealistic. So what I like, encourage people to do is when they come through whatever they're going through and they can mentally sit down and look back and say, okay, what was going on? What was going on the day before? What was going on the week before? How was I feeling? What was going on in my head? Was I feeling sad for a little bit and then it turned into feeling really, really sad and depressed? Did I not recognize sadness? And the other thing by doing that is you actually learn to understand your own behaviours. Like I recognise in myself when my mental health comes down, I get a real need to be around people all the time. Where normally I'm independent and just carry on my own. So that's the trigger for me where I will sit down and say to myself, what is going on? Why all of a sudden do you need someone there 24/7? And that's the time to look at what's going on in the wider area, what's going on in me. Has something happened? Somebody said something, am I just not feeling well? and really just take time out to sit and be with yourself and think about that. And I put underneath there self-checking. So one of the ways that I help people to do this is to sit down with them on their own 5-10 minutes a day and say to themselves, how am I feeling physically? How am I feeling mentally? How do I feel emotionally? And for anybody that that is appropriate to as well, how am I feeling spiritually as well? And there's different ways of doing it. You can just sit and think about it. You can write your thoughts down in a thought journal. Or one way that I like to do it as well because I think it's really powerful to look back on. We've all got a mobile phone, and within the calendar, you can choose 3 or 4 colours that represent each thing. So if I'm feeling really bad, that can be red. If things are just okay, that can be orange. If I'm having a great day, that can be green. If I'm having the best day ever, that can be gold. And it's quite easy to think every day's a bad day when you're in it. But then if you go back on your calendar, you can do this on a calendar if you haven't got a phone. If you go back and look at that calendar for the month, it's a lot easier when you've got all the colours in front of you to go, actually, I only actually had 3 bad days, but it wasn't that bad. Another thing that I do share with people as well is another way of looking at like yourself and self-love as well. So I call it the cake analogy. So what I always say is if you imagine that you're the cake and everyone else around you, or the icing, the candles, the really bit around the bottom, that's so lovely to look at. But if we take it away, the cake on its own is still good enough. It's still amazing just to have the cake. So I would say, what ingredients make up your cake? What ingredients make you? Next slide, please. So this is just a little bit about me. I know Miriam has already mentioned my book. My book came out last February, so we're just coming up to a year of being out, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind year. I've been invited to do lots of podcasts, which for me, I'm going to share with you, it's really good because it's got my own like phobia of putting my speech out there, because when I worked for a couple of big companies, I was actually like discriminated against because of the way I speak, and I know it's kind of put a barrier there that if I don't have to, I won't. My book is called Looking at the Very Dream. To start off with my story, like I've just shared the bullying and discrimination that I've been through and overcome. I strongly believe that if somebody tells me no, that I'm just going to with you done basically. So I'm quite a force for nature, as I say. If anybody would like to read it, it is available on Amazon by Kindle and paperback. And we've also very kindly over Christmas recorded it into an audiobook for us. So the audiobook is out there now, and I've just put it's available on 32 platforms purely because they keep changing where they're putting it and where they're not. So I didn't want to give you a list and it wrong. Anybody that wants to know more about me and the way that I work, I have got my website for counselling with Chrissie.co.uk, and I'm on the main social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, and they're all Counselling Chrissie pages because they're for my business. The photo that you can see under the book is me and my little friend Fizz, and that was actually taken one day where one of my other friends is a photographer, and he very kindly offered to take us out on a photo shoot, and he actually did. If you the photo on the front page of the book, he actually did that for me as well. And if you can see, you can just see the head of the person playing the client, and that is actually his little girl who's got dwarfism, and she's only 9 years old. And it took us about 20 minutes to get her to sit still and stop giggling and talking before we could actually get the photo. So that was actually fun. It was quite a fun day to get the book put together. And then obviously Fish with us as well. So she's got a twin sister, so the twins were just feeding Fizz about a bag full of treats throughout the day. They really loved having him around. So yeah, that's just a little bit more about me and where you can find me.
Chrissie, can I ask you, I know that you've told me, so I think it'd be useful. So in just a little bit more about the book, if anybody's interested, because I know that you want to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
It tells a little bit about your story and how you got into your background, and then how you got into counselling.
Yeah.
And then it shares some anecdotes from the therapy room. Can you just explain a little bit more about that?
Of course. So the way it's set out, when I went on LinkedIn and asked for people a clever way of getting me established where I moved earlier. And somebody said to me, why don't you write a book? And I was like, me write a book? I ain't got a clue what to do. So they shared with me quite a clever way of doing it. And if anyone wants to do it, feel free to steal this idea because it isn't mine. He said, take the 12 questions that you get commonly asked at work and answer them, and there's your book. So I kind of took that format. So I split it into 3 different sections. So the first bit is my story, and then the next 7 chapters answered out the questions about therapy. So what happens in the therapy room? What do I work with? Do I have to do homework in between the sessions? And the questions like that. Then the last 5 chapters go a little bit more into detail in the subject. So the first subject is young adults in therapy, because I do a lot of work with people that are just going off to university, leaving home, and yeah, they get there and realise life isn't what they thought it was going to be, and they can't really cope with it. So I do a lot of support work, therapy with them. And then obviously with my CP, one of my biggest areas of expertise is disability and therapy. And that is both the visible side of disability, and I'm getting a lot more people with that invisible disabilities, well, like ADHD and autism. And in the book, there's actually 2 different stories. One's about a client. All the stories in the book are all the experiences of real life clients that I work with, and they have all given me permission to have their stories in there, and most of them have actually helped write it themselves as well. So nobody's in there that doesn't know they're in there. So in the disabilities chapter, there's 2 different characters in there, and one talks about her experience of discrimination at work and how that made her feel. And I'm really happy to say that from working with her, she's actually like left that job and gone and got another job that she absolutely loves now. And that for me is the absolute thrill of doing this job, is when that's the outcome that you get for people. And then there's another person that comes up, like, she described it, that she always knew she was different. She always knew that there was something wrong. People were telling her that she was lazy and didn't pull her weight at work. And what it actually amounted to was she actually had autism and ADHD, and she was in her 30s before she actually got diagnosed. And even now, right now I'm working with 2 people that are just physically going through the process of being diagnosed with ADHD and autism. I'm not the right person, but alone is really stressful. And the other thing that I've worked with in terms of disability as well is that people that are going through like PIP assessment or going from tax credits into universal credits. It is a really stressful time. I remember when my PIP assessment was up and I was actually terrified that they were going to take it off me. I use it to get my mobility car. And I was terrified that how am I going to get about that car? And that's the side of it that they don't see, and some of us do need therapy for that as well. So there's other chapters as well. One is about rejection, so how that affects us if we don't deal with it, how that can then go on to affect other relationships with different people in your life as well. And then there's one about bereavement, loss, and suicidal thoughts as well. And then the last chapter is about men and therapy, because I just think again that's quite important, and that shares a story of Billy, who was abused in childhood and then went on to get into that coercive abusive relationship as an adult. And again, I worked in the they came out of that relationship, and we worked together for a year, and the Billy that came and the Billy that left. They're just 2 completely different people again. It's like to be part of that journey is just amazing. And as Miriam mentioned at the beginning, and I mentioned the pause for 4 pages, what I wanted it to do, because I don't want it to be a self-help book, but I didn't want it to be a let's just read it and like put it down and there's no interaction for the reader. So after some of the chapters I put in some pause for 4 pages, and I'm now just written a few questions like how are you now feeling after what you've just read? What has it brought up for you? Do you relate to it? Do you now need that to go and talk to somebody about this stuff yourself? So that makes it quite interactive, and as well for anyone looking for therapy, what I've also put in there is that just a little bit of a checklist that I use with my clients either just before they start or in their first session, because it's really easy to think I need it for this, and then come and start talking about what you've done in the last week, and you forget what you come for. So it's like a tool to go back to, but then equally, like with Billy, when we went back to his first, like what we'd written in the first session, not last session, we both blown away by the changes. Because again, like I said earlier, it's so easy to like being everyday life and forget what's going on, forget the changes. And the other thing is that it's really important to look out for the little changes. Because we're all waiting for the big change. But the little change could be, actually, I've just an hour where I've not been in pain. How amazing is that?
I guess that's coming back to the gratitude and, thinking positively, isn't it? Is, you know, the little wins
Yeah,
can really make a difference.
yeah. Did that answer your question, Emma?
That definitely answered my question. Thank you so much. And I hope that everybody got a good idea of how fantastic Chrissie's book is and what a
And-
useful tool it would be.